Hello, in this video I'm going to talk a bit about how we add content to the page and talk a little bit about headings as well. So to start with, I'm going to edit this page. Now when you open a page, you'll see that there's some stuff here at the top, like with the logo and a few include files and other things that might not make much sense to you at first. And at the bottom, there's this footer section. It's important to know that you can't do anything to affect these when you're editing an individual page. These are part of the template. So whatever you do on this individual page, it won't mess up anything that's going on in the header and footer. The only things that you can actually affect in the editor are these three editable regions. The main section is where most of the content on the Cheshire East website will be. There's also a side panel that's available, which you might want to use. And there's also this full width section at the top here, which we ask editors not to use. That's something that people in Web Team will edit. So if I just preview this now, you'll be able to see what we've got so far. So as you can see, we've got the header at the top, which has got this search box in it, the listen and translate panel, the link to my account. We've also got the breadcrumbs. All of this is automatically put in from the templates. Also, the page review date and the question about whether or not we can improve the page and the footer, all of those things are just automatically there on every standard Cheshire East page. As I mentioned, the main section is here, there's a side panel here, and this is the full wet section that we ask you not to use. That's for pages that have got banner images on and things like that, which are a little bit more advanced to produce. So let's go back to the editor now and we can talk about headings. So if I just enter some text into this main content section here, as you can see, it's not a heading, it's just ordinary text. If I highlight it, I can click on this box here which says format and has got a little arrow on the side, and I can see there that heading 1 is available as a style that I can choose. If I click on that, the font size of that becomes larger and it's in the Cheshire East green. So that is what's called a heading 1. Now, every page in a web page must have a heading 1 for accessibility reasons. Other headings are optional, and I'm going to talk about those in a couple of minutes. So as you can see, once I render the page heading is there. So the key to headings on a web page is they must follow a clear hierarchy. So if you've got a heading 1 and you want a subheading, you must then choose heading 2. You mustn't skip down to 3 or 4. And then from a lower level of heading, you can go back up as far as you like, up to heading 2. You can never go back to heading 1. There can only be one heading 1. So the Contentus editor makes it quite easy for you to preserve this hierarchy, because it only makes the headings available once it's legal to use them. So let's say that I'd put this text into my editor and I want this here to be a heading 2. So I'll be clicking my box again there where it says paragraph at the moment, and as you can see, heading 2 is available because I've already got a heading 1 on the page. And then if I wanted this to be a further subheading, I could highlight that, and then I can choose. I mustn't make it a heading 1 because we can only have one heading 1 on the page. I could make it heading 2, which would mean it would have the same level in the hierarchy as the first subheading that I put in, or I could choose heading 3, which would mean that it would be one stage below that in the hierarchy. So if I go to a preview of that page, you can see that actually the subheading and the further subheading are the same size, even though they're H2 and H3, but the main heading of the title of the page, the H1, is recognisably larger. So it's just important that you understand about hierarchies for headings when you're creating a page. There's one other thing that I thought it would be useful to mention in this video. So I've just made a few changes to this page, but I have forgotten to save it. So if I then I decide then that I want to go and edit a different page. So if I then go and try and edit Mark Home and click on edit, I'm going to get a warning from Contentus which says I've made some changes to this page and I'm going to lose them if I navigate away. So whenever I get that warning, I realise that I must have forgotten to save the page I was on. So I'm going to close that, then I'm going to save, and now I'm going to click on edit this other page that I wanted to look at, and now I don't get that warning. So that's just a useful feature really that Contensys builds in to stop you accidentally moving away from a page when you're in the middle of editing it, but you haven't saved it and losing those changes. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.